Everybody talks a big game about how to start and then scale a business. In this video, I'm gonna actually show you our KPIs of our brand new flooring business that I started 18 months ago that's scaling like crazy. I'm gonna do something most entrepreneurs are scared to do. I'm gonna show you our KPIs, our numbers. We're gonna talk about what's going well, what's going not so well, and what you could do to mirror it in your own business so you can scale like a boss. Hey guys, Cody Sperber back again. And the reason I created this new YouTube channel is because I wanted to take you guys on a journey with me. I've been an entrepreneur for the last 22 years. I've started and scaled multiple brands. OSnap is one of my brands. It's a supplement company. Clever Investor is an online education business. I've scaled my real estate investing empire, Green Elephant Development, and Sell Quick for Cash. I've wholesaled thousands of houses. I've spec built hundreds more. I've done a lot of really big things, but by far the most fun and challenging business I've ever started is this business, Floor Daddy. And I wanted to bring you guys on this journey because I believe that we're on this rocket ship to building $1 billion flooring empire. And I just thought, look, if I was a new entrepreneur, what would I actually want to see? I would want to see the real nitty gritty, grimy shit that an entrepreneur actually goes through, not the fluffy, like, look at my top line numbers. No, like I've learned a long time ago that just because you're talking big numbers doesn't mean you're making big profits, big money, and doesn't mean you're gonna be in business 5 years from now. And so I thought, look, every month I'm just gonna kind of just be raw and pull back my curtain and say, here's all our KPIs, here's what's going well, here's what's not going well for us, this is what we're focusing on. So far, we've been in business for 18 months, and it has been one heck of a roller coaster. I'm gonna show you our numbers. You're gonna be able to see month over month this like journey of just being in the trenches, fighting. I love the home services space for a couple reasons. We started this business. I have 4 amazing business partners. There's 5 of us total that own this. We all divide and conquer, but I love this space because of a couple reasons. Reason number 1 is AI is not gonna disrupt the home services space anytime soon. Maybe if Elon Musk has a bunch of robots showing up that can actually like fix plumbing and put on roofs and, you know, do a lot of the home services type stuff, maybe we'll be in trouble, but that's kind of a far way out. So I like to start businesses where it's not going to get disrupted in the next few years and I get put out of business. I also love it because private equity loves this space. Old boring businesses are the best a lot of times, just because if you think about it, it's tried and true. They know what to expect. And one of the other reasons I love this business is think about who I'm up against. Name a flooring company in your local area. Like, just think of 2 or 3 of them if you can. I'll wait. You know, maybe you'll come up with Floor & Decor, Home Depot. Maybe somebody in your local area is running commercials. Empire is a big company. They're $1 billion flooring brand. Express is a big company here in Arizona. There's like 2 big dogs, Empire and Express Flooring. But most people that I talk to cannot name a flooring company. I'm up against like Bob's Flooring. So somebody like me that loves marketing, loves sales, persuasion, influence, the psychology of marketing, I'm gonna fucking run over Bob's Flooring Company. I'm gonna run over all my competitors. They have no idea what's coming. This way, the style of marketing that I do, the way I brand and build businesses is very edgy. I love to do things that kind of break the norm. You know, if you look at like, why do we love crazy characters out there like Steve Jobs in the way he marketed Apple, Kanye West, the way he does cell phone commercial he runs on the Super Bowl and then sells millions and millions of dollars worth of product from like some handheld video. Anybody who's doing like really aggressive marketing, I'm always paying attention to. And we named it Floor Daddy for a reason. It's sexy flooring, affordable prices, quality install. That's kind of our hook. And our business model is we bring our floors to your door so you never pay more. So it's like Uber Eats of flooring, if you can kind of think of it like that. Like, that's where the world is going. It's a kind of a unique business model. We have these vans and trucks that are packed with flooring materials. Instead of the customer having to come to our showroom, we bring our showroom to them and we sit in their living room. We have some really cool technology, some augmented reality technology. We have iPads. All of our design consultants can literally take a picture of anybody's room, any room in somebody's house, and then take take the flooring that they're thinking about buying and use augmented reality to put the flooring right into their space. Between AI and augmented reality, this world is really cool, and we're able to scale really, really quickly. So with that being said, let's dive into my numbers. I'm gonna talk about kind of where we're at and how we got here, and then some of the things that have not been going really well for us. You'll learn some things. All right, so as of the time of us filming this video, we are in October 2025 as we're filming this. So I'm gonna talk about September's results, which happens to be our best month ever. We had a major company goal to hit 1.5 million. We almost got there. We got to $1,411,369 for the month. It was our best month ever. We were this close to our goal. I'm gonna talk about why we barely missed the goal and some things we're doing to get to our next goal, which in the month of October, our goal is $1.6 million. And this is basically from our retail division. We have a wholesale division as well, but we're talking retail numbers here. And so our numbers, 1.4 million, pretty good for only being in business 18 months. And that was a $171,708 increase from the month of August. Some really cool things happened in September. First off, we spent about 13% of our revenue spend went back into marketing. So if you think about it, you know, when you're scaling a business aggressively like we are Floor Daddy, we're constantly adding new vehicles to the fleet. We're constantly hiring new team members. We're integrating artificial intelligence into our company in every space that we possibly can, from the CSRs, the people that take on the phone calls, to the design consultants, the people that are out on the appointments selling the stuff, even to our installers. We have AI integrated in all three areas. So that kind of scaling, that kind of investment back into the business, you have to put money back into it. You can't just use it as a personal piggy bank if you want to build a $1 billion flooring business. So we spent 13% of our revenue generated back into marketing. When you're scaling hard, you want to be between 12 to 18%, somewhere in there. So 13% is a little on the low end. For what I want to do, I'm trying to bump that up to like 15%. I'd like to hover at least 15%. That means we're being really aggressive with our marketing. We generated 375 Google leads. That was our best month ever. In total, we generated 706 leads. It was our second best month ever for lead generation. We brought in $207,673 in referral income. We launched an affiliate portal, an affiliate program, so that way realtors, contractors, designers, architects, anybody can enroll in our affiliate program and earn 10% of whatever the customer ends up purchasing. So it's a great way if somebody asks you, you overhear somebody talking about like maybe remodeling their house. You're like, I know a great flooring company that you can get involved with. We do wholesale and retail, so we can sell just materials and ship it anywhere in the United States. And we sell more than flooring. So we can sell you flooring, we can sell you cabinets, countertops, windows, blinds, AstroTurf. We have a bunch of stuff at FloorDaddyDepot.com, which is our wholesale department. So we launched an affiliate program, and we now have some referrals flowing in, which is always good to see. My goal is to drive that up to $1 million a month in just referral income. And the thing that we're really proud about is our average transaction size has gone way, way up. It's one of the other things I love about the flooring business is it's a high ticket volume business. We're not selling t-shirts, for $11. On average, the average customer last month spent $11,267. And that's really good. You want to be in a business with a big ticket volumes, because that way you can have high profit margins, spend lots of money on marketing, invest back into the company, and so on. And every month we spend a ton of money on marketing. I'm going to talk about all our marketing strategies here in a minute, which is kind of the secret sauce behind Floor Daddy and our growth. But last month we generated $155,111 on TV revenue. It was our second best month. We had another month where we made $166K. It's hard to track TV commercial, like the commercials we're running, back to revenue. It's really hard to track that because the attrition is difficult to see. The only way we're tracking that right now is if somebody calls us and one of our CSRs literally says, "How did you hear about us?" They say to us, "I just watched a Floor Daddy commercial." Otherwise, what you end up seeing, right now I'm spending $65,000 a month in commercials. Last month, with these numbers, I spent $60,000 that month. So I'm slowly increasing increasing my TV ad spend. What we see when you spend $65,000 a month in TV or on TV, you see all the ships, the whole thing rise. So Google rises, pay-per-click rises, YouTube rises, Facebook rises, the print rises, everything rises, because if you think about the frequency of TV, they're seeing a commercial now when you're spending this kind of money, almost every commercial break. So they're hearing the jingle, they're seeing my face over and over, they're hearing the word Floor Daddy. Even if they're multitasking and not paying attention, they hear things in the background. And then when they need flooring, they go to Google and they see Floor Daddy, then they submit through Google, and you're like, oh, okay, even though TV, they didn't say I saw you on TV, TV lifted it, if that makes sense. So that was really good to see our TV revenue increase, and our Facebook revenue increased to $200,099. It was our best month ever on Facebook. And when I tell you how much I spent on Google to generate our Google revenue and how much I spent on Facebook to generate our Facebook revenue, you're gonna be shocked. We're getting a massive return on ad spend right now because the branding is on point. All right, so like I said, we ended up at 1.411 million for the month. In total, I spent a total of $184,180 on advertising. That does, a lot of advertising is still happening. That is free. All of our social posts, all of our vehicles, wrapped vehicles out on the road, all the referral income that's coming in. There's still a lot of free guerrilla marketing happening, but I'm spending $184,000 a month to make 1.4 million. Would you trade 184,000 if you knew 1.4 million was going to come in the same month? You absolutely should. Those are great numbers. And as you can see on this little chart, our marketing spend per revenue generated is in a really healthy place. There's been a few months where it's kind of spiked a little bit. Things got out of hand. We got a little greedy certain months, like the month of June. We pulled some levers. We said to ourselves, hey, look, let's go hard. At the time, I was only spending $30,000 a month on TV. So I was like, let's go hard this month on Google and on Facebook. If you guys know anything about running paid traffic, cold traffic ads on Facebook, if you pull that lever too hard, it goes wider and wider and wider, that your advertisements start getting shown to like far off, colder and colder traffic. Well, when that happens, all of a sudden we started getting a lot of just BS leads coming in that wasted everybody's time. We started getting trailer parks. We started getting a lot of rental properties. We started getting stuff outside of our actual market. We were getting leads. We're advertising here in Arizona. We were getting leads in Utah and Nevada. I don't know how Facebook fucked that up, but we pulled that lever and that shit went crazy and we had to rein it back in. The problem with doing that, and I've probably spent in my brands, in my companies, I probably spent $30 million on cold traffic. The problem with pulling the lever too hard is it's very difficult to back it down and get things back on track. It takes about a month at the soonest. So you gotta be really careful with how aggressive you go. It was one of those things where, to be honest with you, I didn't really wanna do it. One of my business partners wanted to do it. He was kind of nebby-nosing into my side of the world. I run all the marketing here at Floor Daddy, and I said, look, you're a smart guy, you're looking at all the numbers. If you really wanna try it, I'll let you do it, but you're gonna live and die by the sword. And as soon as it went haywire, I said, I told you so. We shouldn't have done that aggressively. And he's like, yeah, I'm staying out of your lane from here on out. So, and that was our chief technology officer, by the way, that was playing. He's a good marketer, actually. He has another company he does well, but just let me do my damn thing and we'll be okay. And so that's been going really good. Our lead generation is crazy. As you can see by this chart right here, our best month ever was 730 leads generated. When you have that many at-bats, if you have really good processes and systems, you're gonna make a fortune. When we're generating 700 plus leads, and there'll be months here in the near future where I'm generating 1,000 to 2,000 leads every single month. My goal is to get this business to where we're producing at least $30 million a year, at least within the next year and a half. So I think we have a pretty good game plan to get us there. Lead generation is going to be a big part of that. I'm going to have to generate at least maybe 2,500 to 3,000 leads a month to drive us up to those kind of numbers. So we're on a great trajectory there. And if you look at this chart, our average transaction size in this industry, on average, the average transaction size size is like $6,500 to $7,000. Floor Daddy's always been higher than that because we have more than 10 value adds that we add to every one of our sales. Let me just give you a couple examples. First off, we do free air duct cleaning, okay? So, customers love air duct cleaning. They don't think about that, but when you're demoing tile and flooring, all the dust and stuff that's up in the air, we come in behind it, do a super deep clean, and then we clean out all the air ducts as just part of our offer. We also don't charge for floor prep here at Floor Daddy. Nothing pisses off a customer more than, you agreeing on a number, right? And them saying, okay, I want to do it. And then they're getting ready to okay the agreement. And at the last minute, they say, oh, well, we also got to add floor prep. And then the number goes up another couple grand. It makes them feel like you're kind of chiseling them and just being too pushy with the sale. And so we just said, look, even if we lose money, I'd rather have a happy customer. And so we started including floor prep. And we have 10 of those types of value adds. And it's allowed our design consultants to not only keep more rapport with the customer, but also we end up making more money because the customers are way happy. They see the value in everything we're bringing to the table. A lot of times our competitors have a lower price, but they like the Floor Daddy energy and value adds better. And so that's been great to see that be on a good trajectory. Getting that thing up to like 13,000 a month is our goal. That's where we're driving towards. So we'll see if we're able to do that. And just to kind of condense this down a little bit and put this into perspective. So last month I spent $26,887 on Facebook ads that generated 180 leads, resulting in 15 customers that produced $200,099 in revenue, which means it cost me $149 to generate a lead and $1,792 to generate a customer. This actually increased from the month before. We were at around $1,500 to generate a customer on Facebook, and it went up to $1,700. We'll see if this month drops back down. Sometimes you can't look at just one month by itself. Each month is going to play out a little bit different. The fact that I made $200,000 off $26,000 in ad spend is a good return on ad spend. So I'm still happy with it, but I'd like to see that number to actually generate a customer. I like to see it cost around $110 to generate the lead on Facebook and about $1,500 to generate the customer. That's my goal. And then on Google, I spent $64,389 on Google ads that generated 375 leads, resulting in 36 customers that produced $380,512 in revenue, which means it cost me $172 to generate a lead and $1,789 to generate a customer. So as you can see, not much difference between Facebook and Google. However, every other month, it's always been Facebook was cheaper to generate a lead and cheaper to generate a customer. And now they're about even. So we're going to keep a close eye on this. I'd like to see the Google ads cost me no more than $150 to generate a lead and around $1,600 to generate a customer. But overall, it gives you some insight on what it takes. You got to have marketing stamina in this business. You got to have some fucking marketing balls to do well in this business. It's not easy to spend, close to $200,000 and just trust that the money's going to roll back in before your credit card bill is due, that type of thing. But if you have the right machine and you have that marketing stamina, you can build a really great brand. All the rest of the customers that we generated came from Valpak, which is a print that goes out twice a month. It came from TV. Like I said, last month we spent $60,000 on TV ads. We did have billboards for 1 week out of the month. I shut the billboards off. I was spending $20,000 a month in billboards. That got shut off right at the beginning of the month. I will turn back on billboards, but I took that money and I moved it over to increase TV ad spend. But I love billboards. I think billboards are great for branding. We have some really funny billboards that were out there. People were talking about them and posting them on social. I try crazy shit. We got a Floorgasm billboard, just anything to get you as you're driving down the street to be like, what the fuck was that? Like Floorgasm? Like what? So just some edgy stuff. We had some, I'll put all the billboards up so you can see a couple of them. And about every 2 months, we have a home show. I don't know if you've ever seen those big advertisements for those big home shows. A lot of times they rent out like a football stadium or a conference center and they do a big home show and, thousands and thousands of people come through and walk through those. So during the second week of last month, we had a home show and we generated a record amount of appointments. It was one of our most successful home shows. We bring out bad bitches. We have like 10 girls walking around the home show in Floor Daddy gear. We have the Floor Daddy character. We have, things flopping all over the place, causing noise. We have giveaways, and we go all out on the home shows to really make a lot of noise. So that way everybody in there that walks through there comes over to the Floor Daddy desk. They enroll for contests to win free flooring. We just make a bunch of noise. And so we had a home show. So hopefully we saw about maybe $65,000 worth of home show revenue trickle in towards the end of last month. So far at the time of this recording, we're now on the 9th of October as I'm recording this. I'm already over $500,000 in revenue for the month. So we're on track to hit 1.6, maybe blast past it. So a lot of that momentum though is coming from the home show, coming from the increased ad spend on TV. We're really moving in the right direction with that stuff. And then we got the fleet of vehicles out there, and our referral business, like I said, is doing better and better every single month. All right, let's talk about some challenges. Every single month as an entrepreneur, you're gonna have challenges. There's no way around it. You have to have a bounce back spirit if you are an entrepreneur. If you're trying to build a $1 billion flooring brand, you're gonna fuck stuff up. And I love it. I wanna break everything as fast as possible. That way, the team solidifies, because there is nothing more valuable in a business that is scaling aggressively than alignment. Alignment is velocity. Alignment equals more brand, more profits, more income, being able to scale the team. Everything starts and ends with alignment. If you and your partners are in alignment, you're gonna dominate. If you are in alignment with your numbers, you're gonna dominate. If you're in alignment with your team, you're gonna dominate. If you're trying to build a massive business like I am, and you got a family at home and you're out of alignment with them, is all the money that you're generating in your business worth it? Hell no. If your health is going to shit because all you do is work and eat fast food and you never get to the gym, you're never moving your body, you never get out of this chair, and you're just hunched over in a dark office all day working, but you're printing money, but you're not spiritually connected, your health is out of whack, your kids don't respect you. You get what I'm saying? It's not worth it. So alignment is the key. And so we work really, really hard here at Floor Daddy to get alignment ingrained in our culture and our core values. It's ingrained in every single meeting that we have with my partners and every single meeting we have with our team members. And so some things that are going really well is the increased marketing is converting to sales. I love seeing what I'm seeing right now. We're gonna bump up the TV ad spend. My goal is to get it to $80,000 a month. There is a diminishing return on TV. There's only so many people on TV. You're probably, if you're a young gunner, you're probably not even paying for cable anymore, right? However, smart TV and paying to advertise on smart TV is not valuable yet for a company like Floor Daddy. So many people pay for Netflix, pay for YouTube, so they're not seeing the ads. So it doesn't do me any good if there's not enough eyeballs in the space to act that are my potential avatar of a customer. It's not worth it for me to go there. So OG TV is still one of the best places for me, because older people that own homes and housewives and stuff, they have that TV running in the background all day long. So OG TV is where we're spending our money. But once I top out at $80K a month, you start getting a diminishing return, meaning the amount of times, the frequency that they see me is already topped out. Me spending $90K or $150K isn't gonna get me the customer lift that I need. Rather, I hit 80 and I take my other budget and I move it to billboards, I move it to direct mail, I move it to radio. You get what I'm saying? So TV's going well, advertising's going well. What did not go well last month is we had a massive spam attack. Massive spam attack. Out of nowhere, we started getting all these like real shitty leads. They looked real. You couldn't tell. And we couldn't tell where they're coming from. And it started as a trickle, then it came in as a tsunami. And anytime you don't have the proper technology on your landing pages, like with CAPTCHA and code that prevents these kind of spam attacks, it's really difficult to see what's going on. And it took us about 2 weeks to stop it. And we were able to find the pages and find the source of it and block it and prevent it from ever happening again. But it's just one of those things where, we kind of knew we were going to have some challenge. We just didn't think it was going to be, Russian bots or whatever the hell was going on there. And so next thing you know, you have 200 leads that your whole team's calling, sending you on a wild goose chase, ends up being spam. And so we had to not only clean up the BS leads, but we had to fix the challenge. The other thing that happened is we got scammed for $8,000. Somebody stole a credit card, called in and said, hey, I would like to purchase some material. Here's my card. Card went through, material got ordered. They went and picked up the material. And the day after they picked up the material, we got the notification that it was a stolen credit card. So we got the police involved. We figured out the processes and systems, and we created an SOP. I don't know if you've ever heard of an SOP. It's a standard operating procedure. Basically, it's just a documented process to ensure that that never happens again. And so we built an SOP. We held a training. We added it to the company manual and made sure that everybody got distributed the SOP. And now, if anybody calls in for a credit card, we have a bunch of extra layers of things that have to happen before we ever take a credit card over the phone again. And so, yeah, those kind of things happen. You can't really do much about it. When it happens, it sucks. You're gonna have to have maybe 5% of your income go to bullshit every month, maybe up to 10. Employees, mistakes, scams, spam attacks, whatever's gonna hit you is gonna hit you, and you gotta be prepared for it. But our saving grace, and probably one of the best things we're seeing right now, is our average transaction volume, order volume is going up. Like I said, $11,000 is great, where the industry average is like 7. So we're doing great here at Floor Daddy. If I can get that to 13,000, we are world-class, murdering it. So that's our goal. And also the record amount of referrals. That really helps. You know, when you're spending money on advertising, there's a cost to generate that customer, $1,700 on Facebook and PPC. But when a referral comes in, it costs me max 10%. That's if it doesn't come in from one of the owners or from my social media or something like that. So you should be the loudest cheerleader of your brand at all times, building content, talking about it. Don't be scared to share your numbers with your team or the world. You guys are watching us build $1 billion flooring brand right before your eyes. So hopefully this gave you some encouragement to get out there and do big things. It shows you that we are all fighting the good fight. At the end of the day, we're all kind of, your favorite entrepreneur behind the scenes is duct taped together. I promise you that. Good things happen, bad things happen. Sometimes on social media, they only show the good shit, but you know, every day's a battle, and that's what we do here at Floor Daddy. Our number one goal is to serve our customers and make sure that they're happy and they have a great experience. And if doing all the training and all the investment and all the branding and everything continues to serve the customer and I can make a little coin along the journey, then I'm happy with that. But I'll never put money ahead of a customer ever. It's all about the brand, building the brand, the trust in the brand, and the quality of craftsmanship and service that we provide our customers. Because if that goes way up, naturally the business is going to go way up and be worth a lot of money. And that's my ultimate goal. 5 years from now, maybe up to 7, I'd love to sell Floor Daddy for like $400 to $500 million. Wish me luck. Hopefully I can do it. But every month I'll be putting out videos like this so you can kind of track our progress, see what's up, and get some inspiration for yourself. Until the next video, we're out of here. Take care. Comb your hair. We're out.